What is going on, everybody? Micah back with Versatile Productions. We are here to talk about some pretty interesting news today. Yes, you've heard it correctly. Google I/O has started today, May 11th, and they have announced a bunch of things. But one of the things that they mentioned, one of the products that they plan on releasing in the near future, is something that really caught my eye and ear. No, it's not the Pixel 6a, although it looks nice. It looks like, of course, the typical iteration of a previous device that they've released, like the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. They revised the body just a little bit. I won't say cheapen it, but cut some things out to make it more of an affordable device for this year in the form of a mid-range device. No, it's not the Pixel 6a. No, it's not the Pixel Buds Pro, although the design looks nice. It's a design I'm weary of because, frankly, my ears don't like that kind of design. Case in point, the Galaxy Buds 2. I prefer the Galaxy Buds Plus because of the wingtip. That's something that I hope that they bring back because I find that to be way better in the form of the ear. It doesn't stress out the ear or the ear canal nowhere near as much as the Pixel Buds, I would imagine, A, and now the Pixel Buds Pro or the Galaxy Buds 2 are ones that look like that. Probably even the Galaxy Buds Live, the little bean shaped ones. So no, definitely not excited for the Pixel Buds Pro, although it is nice to see that Google's finally getting into the Pro market with their earbuds. The Pixel Watch has a little bit of my attention because I like the spherical, circular shaped crown and dial, if you will. One of the things that I was hoping to see was something a little more square, kind of sort of something similar to Apple, but of course Apple kind of has that. I do like that square look when it comes to watches, and it would have been nice to see them enter that ballpark, but no, we're getting an even more circular shape, much more simplistic. Hopefully it's also simplistic when it comes to adding and removing the straps or bands for the Pixel Watch, but I do like that. And now that they're finally incorporating Fitbit into it, it's going to be interesting to see how that looks, especially with different stylized bands and features. We know that one of the biggest watches out there outside of the Apple Watch is the Galaxy Watch ecosystem, and with Google Wear OS now running on the platform, it is something that we have been able to see and pretty much overall feel like it's pretty much a great addition for the Galaxy Watch 4 and 4 Classic. So we'll be interested to see a full-fledged Google Wear OS device made by Google with the Pixel Watch. But that's not what caught my attention. What caught my attention is that Google themselves said they will be releasing a Pixel tablet in 2023. Now, you know I'm a big tablet fan, although I would argue I've pretty much peaked and have regressed slightly now that I have the Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra, mainly because the price point in which I had to spend to get it, what it has, what it is, and ultimately not really wanting to spend that kind of money on a tablet again, especially if it's not opening the doors to a higher level of desktop experience, mainly being able to edit on the device. These processors are probably strong enough to edit fairly decently. I won't say over like crazy After Effects and anything, but to be able to edit a 1080p, even 4K 30, maybe 4K 60 timeline with no problems, I feel like these processors are more than capable if they just beefing out the tablet a little bit more and actually unleash that power. I feel like these tablets could really hone in on that market without necessarily hindering or hurting the laptop market. Now, Google, although with the Chromebooks, they don't really have a big hand in the grand scheme of things when it comes to laptops, but for them to try to again release a tablet is interesting. We know that with Samsung has made a lot of progress in the tablet industry, a tablet market in terms of physical hardware, and as a result of the Tab S8 series, they've been able to square away relationships with Google themselves and LumaFusion to bring more productivity to the tablet space, developed and optimized for the Android tablet market space. we need to see the same thing with the Google Pixel tablet. We don't know what the name will be. We know we've had the Pixel C, right? And the other tablet they had after that, that was kind of a little bit more laptop-ish, but not really. It was running like an odd form of Chrome OS slash not Chrome OS. So what is Google going to try and accomplish with this new Pixel tablet? Have they learned their lessons? Because there's a reason why they keep failing, and it's mainly because they don't focus on it. They don't really hone in and force the developers to develop for the tablet market on Android, which is why Android suffers when it comes to tablets. That the iPad is the go-to tablet because developers optimize for iPads, iOS. But there's no real incentives. That's the word I was looking for. For them to really develop for Android, even though there is a market there. There's a nice market there. Even when normal basic apps, there's not a lot of optimization when it comes to the Android tablet space. So with Google now really jumping on board, which maybe we should have saw since they put the time in to develop Android 12L for large screen devices such as tablets, to really push developers, incentivize them a little bit more to develop for the tablet space. What is Google going to do with the tablet space themselves? I'm hoping that the relationship they had with Samsung to really push Google Duo and some of the Google apps on Samsung's devices, we will see even better on the Pixel tablet. But what other space in the productivity realm is Google going to try and achieve or seek, trying to jump back in here again for like the third or fourth time? That's what's going to be interesting. Yeah, we had the Nexus tablets, and of course I said the Pixel C, and then unless that's what I'm thinking of, they had one more after that, which was not that long ago. Unless that was a Pixel C, I can't remember. But see how it's an afterthought even for me, and I like the tablets. And hopefully that price point is solid. Hopefully it does offer similar specs, if not better specs than Samsung, but it's going to be hard to really, catch up with Samsung unless you're just gonna go for it. Because next year with the Tab S9 series, since the Tab S8 Ultra was clearly beloved by a lot of customers and consumers, we're gonna definitely see that going forward, probably next year. And hopefully there's gonna be a 1 terabyte option when it comes to storage, and a 4K display option when it comes to the display, especially given the price point that we had to spend on this year's top end model. And hopefully we get even more performance out of the processor, so that way when editing, like on a Power Director or whatever other, or LumaFusion or whatever other video editor or photo editor, let's also include Lightroom and hopefully Photoshop. We need to see that on the Android side of things as well, because a lot of us don't have laptops that can really perform that well. We have to rely on tablets right now, because to get a laptop that really performs that well, you do have to kind of put some money into it. So imagine being able to put half the money into a decent laptop like that in the realm of $2,000 on a super legit tablet that can outperform most basic to decent laptops, the i5, i7s alike, what I'm saying? Not necessarily that, the i9s. But let's say we get a tablet that can really perform on the level of an i7, and graphics wise, they are able to implement or integrate a super solid GPU that really helps with video editing, the type of RAM that they can put into it, or develop a model for that specifically. Asus is pretty much came close to that, right? With their one of their more recent tablets, that like a gaming tablet. But in terms of the mainstream consumer tablets like the Tab S series and now Google's Pixel tablet, we need to see productivity emphasized in that space, and when it comes to editing, whether it's photo or video, because everything else you could pretty much do. Samsung has DeX that needs to also continue to be improved, and developers need to develop for DeX, and that's so niche that it doesn't honestly make sense for a lot of developers to really focus on DeX. But if Google can help push that with their tablet, we will actually see a lot more of that come out. Internet surfing, most apps, not gonna say most apps, but a lot of media-based apps are run fine. But in terms of other things that we want to use our tablet for, outside of emails and writing up docs and whatnot, we need to see a beautiful, high-powered tablet, a beautiful, high-powered keyboard that, of course, is backlit. Samsung did introduce that into their ecosystem finally with the Tab S8 series, or the Tab S8 Ultra specifically. They have about a number pad, right, on the keyboard. The key travel to be pretty decent. The key size to be pretty decent. The trackpad to be much more premium instead of feeling wonky and kind of cheap, right, or subpar, if you will. That's what we need to see out of this Pixel tablet. Really challenging Samsung, but really challenging iPad in terms of getting developers on board to develop and maximize and optimize their apps for the Android ecosystem. That's what we need to see when it comes to this Pixel tablet. The focus on developers bringing Android into their fold too. So let me know down in the comment section below your thoughts on the Pixel tablet, any of the other devices that you got to see and hear about from Google. We know that they'll be talking about software at some point too in terms of Android 13, so definitely be on the lookout for that. But let me know down in the comment section below. Let's start that discussion about the new and upcoming Pixel devices. Let me know your thoughts. But again, as always, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys ignite the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so that we know my videos, so that we sit back, chillax, see what's cracking. It's your man Versatile / Micah is signing out, and until the next video, wait for